So, hello everyone. I would like to do a walkthrough on Multipaint today, which is a really old computer program that was originally made for the PC98. And if you don't know what the PC98 is, well, it's an old computer. It's actually older than me, and it's pretty cool. A lot of the art styles you might see that are in the games made for the PC98, they're pretty distinct and they look pretty nice. Like all these games have a limited color scheme and they're a bit pixelated. And they have this thing called dithering where you might be able to see let me zoom in. You might be able to see in this video, but you can see there's a lot of little dots here, and then there's more and more dots, and it's basically it's a pretty cool thing that's used on the PC98 to make some shading, and you don't really see that in other computers. So I think the PC98 art is pretty cool. Anyways, Multipaint is basically just a drawing app that was made for this PC98, and there aren't really many videos of it. This is the only video out there that I can find, which is just a demo, and I think it's really nice. You should all check this out later or before you watch this video. Yeah, the person's actually good at art and shows off some pretty neat tricks, so I would definitely watch that as well. But I just wanted to make a video of my own so that people can learn some of the cool tools in Multipaint. But before all that, you want to be able to play it, right? You want to download it and install it and get it working. And I'd say before it was pretty hard to find the download, but now if you can just search up Multipaint PC98, then you'll pretty quickly find a download link. You could probably try one of these ones too. Yeah, I don't know, but the point is it's not too hard to download a working file for Multipaint now, which is really nice, really easy to find. But you do need an emulator, and those of you who don't know what an emulator is, it's basically like a computer inside of a computer, and you're basically running the PC98 using Windows or whatever computer you're on. And there's quite a few options for which type of emulator to use. There's one called Neko Project 2, I believe. Yep, that comes up. There's also DOSBox, which is also pretty popular. But the thing is, like I said before, the PC98, it's older than me. I don't know how to use it, and Neko Project 2 and DOSBox, I don't really feel like learning how to use it. There's more than 2 steps to use it, and so one I like to use is NX86, which is really easy to set up and use, and you can find downloads of it everywhere. And definitely make sure to set the font, or else you'll get a bunch of weird symbols for all your text and nothing will make sense. Kind of like yeah, all of your text will look really random like this, and you won't really be able to understand it. So definitely make sure to not just get the normal download, but also get the Japanese font for the NX86. And once you do that, setting up the font isn't too difficult either. All you have to do is go to the config section and then select where did I put it? yeah, I don't know. I forgot where I put my file, but somewhere, wherever you downloaded the file for the font, you just select that, and then that's all you do. And as for actually launching Multipaint, once you have the files, all you have to do is mount it on one of these disks. So you got the FDB1, FDB2, HDB1, HDB2, and depending on whichever version of Multipaint, like wherever you downloaded it from, it'll be a .HDI or a .FDI file. And if it's .HDI, then you put it here, HDB1. So let me look for that real quick. Here, this is an HDI file, and then you'll be able to launch that. Or if it's an FDI, like the one you might have downloaded, then you should be able to find an nps.fdi file. Just select that, and then when you start it, you can see it doesn't actually immediately launch Multipaint. And that's just how old computers work, I guess. But launching it from here is really, really easy once you know what to do. So right here, sorry, I accidentally hit my table and knocked over the mic. Anyways, this right here you can just ignore. It just tells you to set the date and time. Just press enter. And then here, now you can just enter your command. And you can just write nps.exe or just nps. Okay, and there. You got Multipaint launched. There's also another way to do it, because I know maybe a year or two ago I got a different version of Multipaint from some other source, and that one was a bit different. Yeah, you can see here the file that I got for this one it came with a file manager. But this one too, if you know what you're doing, you can get around it pretty quickly. You just use arrow keys and press enter. So CG game, graphics, edit, MPS, MPS 18, and then the exe. And you got the same thing, but if you have this version of Multipaint, I actually wouldn't recommend it. I'd actually get a different version, because this one is actually a bit bugged out. You can't use some of the tools. Say if the fill tool doesn't work, some of the text you can't really read, has a few errors. So I'd actually, even if you have this version, I'd actually go online and go grab the top result here on Reddit, because this one actually has a lot more tools that work. So I recommend that. Now, let's actually get into it. Right, over here. Alright, enter, MPS for Multipaint something. Okay, and let's start. And immediately you can see I have two mouse pointers. And the reason I have these two cursors is because, well, it's an emulator. And so it's a computer instead of a computer. And which mouse works? Which mouse is the real one, you might ask? Well, not this one, the smaller one. The smaller one that's up here is my actual computer's mouse, so this will let me close the app, it'll let me close Multipaint, and the bigger cursor is what actually clicks inside the emulator. So whenever you're using Multipaint, just try your best to ignore this little mouse and focus on the big cursor. And you can see it's a little bit offset, meaning if you try to, say, click really high up, then you'll accidentally click this bar up here, which you don't really want. And this will happen pretty often when you press a button and it offsets your cursor, which is pretty annoying. But then again, I wouldn't really recommend this Multipaint as like an actual painting app. So, I mean, it's just for fun, so it's not too big of a deal. And you can fix it really easily by putting your mouse in this corner right here, and it'll make your cursor go back to your real cursor. Hope this all makes sense. I'm just making up random words right now. Right, anyways, I think I'll want to go over each of the tools one by one. So, first off, before I actually say the tools, I forgot to explain Multipaint uses these cool Windows style thing where you can open a bunch of different little windows that have their own purpose, and then you can move them around and close them, and you have a lot of freedom with it, which is nice. So you just click and drag to move it, right click to make it disappear, or you can right click here, click here. So that's pretty easy. And the first tool that we have is the drawing tool, which is you'll definitely want to have open at all times. You'll always be using this, and it's pretty self-explanatory. These are the different sizes of your brush. This is your current color. These are all the colors that you have, and then these are sort of your different types of brushes. And by default, you'll always have the normal brush and a normal line mode. Let me switch to a bigger size. So this is your normal brush, just a solid old line wherever your mouse goes. And this is your little pen, which will just let you switch to a 1 pixel wide stroke. This is, I believe, I actually forgot, this is your, it sort of just smudges up your drawing. I don't know how to explain it, just makes it more pixelated, spreads it out a bit more. And this, I think, is the other smudge tool. Yeah. You can click from inside a color, drag it out, and it has the effect of as if you're smudging the brush with your finger, and you're dragging it across the paper. So that's pretty cool. You also have like a weird dithered spray. It's a bit like your normal brush, but pixelated on the edges. This one's pretty neat. This is a spray paint can, and this is great for just adding a cool background or adding a bunch of noise. So that's pretty nice. This, I think, is just a regular dithered brush. So it's a bit like this one, but the whole thing is dithered, all pixelated. That's cool. And lastly, I think this is like a shading. It just changes the color of your drawing, but I'm not too sure how it works. It just sort of does, makes your colors look nicer. And lastly, this is your X, which just doesn't really look like an X, but it sort of has that pattern, which is cool. So these were all of your brushes, like the types of shapes and pixelated amount. I don't know how to explain it. It's like the shape of your brush. And the bottom row down here is sort of like how your brush behaves, like how you set down your stroke. I'll just show you. So I was showing you the normal line, but you can actually have a dotted line, which is cool. You can also have like a paintbrush type of stroke where the faster you go, the thinner the stroke is. Yeah, so when it's kind of like leaving ink on wherever you leave your mouse. Kind of like a real pen where if you accidentally leave your pen in one spot, then it'll kind of make a blob of ink. So that's cool. You also have a line, which is really useful. Just click and point and click and point and click, and then right click to stop. You got a square, pretty simple, a circle, also pretty simple, and a parallelogram, which is kind of like a square, but you can actually oh wait, no, sorry, this is parallel lines. So you first set a line, and then now you can duplicate that line in that direction. And then lastly, well not lastly, you have a filled up square, and you have the fill tool. So these, these should be pretty self-explanatory. You also got all your colors, and down here you got your dithering options. And so right now it's just normal line, but as you go further left, you'll actually be a bit more pixelated, as you can see here, and even more, and more, and more, until you got practically little, like really tiny spaced out pixels. And so it's really nice for making a gradient style without actually using a million different colors. You can slowly decrease the amount of pixels you use, and it just looks like you're making a shade. So that's cool. This will just flip the dithering. That's all. So that is, oh, one more thing. You can actually, a really cool trick with the colors is that you can actually right click here, and it'll have a little square, and you can actually click on wherever in your painting, and it'll set your brush to that. And what I mean is that I just selected this weird little pattern here, weird little line here, and now whatever I draw, it has that pattern. Interesting. So this is really useful for, say, if you have clothes for a character. Oops. So you got a little t-shirt, and instead of having a solid color or trying to fill out a tiny pattern one by one, you can actually just do like a little pattern to the side, select that, and boom. It fills the whole shirt with that pattern. And that makes it really easy to just color clothes, make patterns in the background, things like that. Which I wish other drawing programs actually had more often. So that's a neat little trick. Over here, you have more patterns. So you got this cool apple preset. Ooh, cool. So that's pretty nice. And I believe if you click on this arrow, you can, I forgot how exactly to do it. Oh yeah, this. You click on this little square, and I believe there's a way to add your own pattern as like in order to save it for later. I forgot exactly how, but something like that. Pretty cool. So that's a pretty simple window. This right here is your masking, and masking is actually pretty simple but really useful. Basically what it does is it prevents you from drawing over certain colors. So say I have a cool piece of text right here. Oops. say I have some text right here, and then I want to add some color to the background. So I want to do the spray paint and add some blue behind it. But you're going to end up painting over the text. So the trick here is you select the colors that you don't want to go over, and now, boom, easy as that. You can use this for practically anything. I think you'll use it all the time. Say if you're trying to color the skin of a person and you don't want to go into the clothes, you don't want to interfere with the hair or the face, then you can set the mask for several of the colors, and it's pretty easy. And I believe this button will simply invert the mask. It'll just select the ones that you didn't select and deselect the ones that you had selected. And I think this will just enable and disable this masking. That's a pretty cool tab. This is sort of like your editing tab, where you'll sort of do like major shifts, major editing, like flipping the page, making copy and pasting stuff. So you're flipping it horizontally, flipping it vertically. You have inverting colors. This one will clear your entire canvas. Actually, I'll do that right now. Yeah, you can right click to not clear your canvas, and you can click to confirm. This, I haven't actually figured out what these mean. It just gives an error, these two buttons. And I'm also not too sure what these ones do. I think these were just flipping. Let me add something so you can see what happens. Yeah, this will just flip your, not flip, but rotate your drawing a little bit. Not too sure how that works. And this will just let you view your picture. This is copy and paste. So you select an area, and then now you can copy and paste it. You might, if you saw the demo video from before, well, I guess I closed that tab. But in the other video that I was recommending, the person actually used a pretty cool trick where you can make your own cool text. If I can actually do it right. Little circle, a smaller circle inside. Oops. Forgot that I was masking. Little circle inside it. And then you select this. Or actually, before that, you want to right click on this, select what colors you want to copy and paste. I don't want to explain this, but just watch. It's cool. I don't want to paste the white, and I want to mask over the blue. So you'll see this cool trick where now I can copy and paste this, and now I have custom text, which is like circular. So to explain what I just did, what is this? Anyways, by right-clicking this and selecting the white, this essentially means I don't want to paste any white. So that, because you know, the white background is actually part of the art, and so I don't want to copy and paste that. So I selected that, and then I made sure not to draw over blue, which means now I can copy and paste this cool pattern and turn it into writing. I don't know how to explain it. And this is the other copy and pasting, which is actually, I'd say, even cooler. We can take a little region, and then you can actually paste it at a different size and different ratio. Pretty cool. You can make it all stretched out. And so I guess if you're drawing a person and your body is out of proportion, it's too small or something, then you can just select the body and then really easily simply copy and paste this, but at a different size. So that's that. What did this do? Oh yeah, it just shades your colors a little bit. I'm not too sure. I forgot how this exactly works, not too sure. And this actually makes a cool gradient. So you make a line and then specify how long you want it to go. I actually can't see it with this color. Let me try this. Pretty cool. It sort of does all the dithering for you. So pretty neat. And this sort of also dithers things a little bit, makes it a little bit more pixelated. Same with this. They're kind of hard to explain. They're not too different from each other, but I'm sure if you can find a difference and find it useful, then by all means go ahead and use it. So that was like the editing tab. This is your zoom tab, where you can select the region, and then now this little window will basically let you work on whatever you selected, but zoomed in. I explained it worse than it's actually simpler than I make it sound. It just zooms in, that's all. And you can just work on it from here. That's cool. And this little thing right here that looks like an ear is actually a palette. And here is where you select your colors. Yes, finally I get to the colors. As you can see, these are all of your colors, and I really mean these are all the colors you'll ever see on the screen at all times. I promise you, there's no other color, like not even the buttons or UI, have different colors. Since the PC98 has a limited color scheme, you only get 16, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 16 colors in total, and you'll sort of have to push the computer to the limit with this. And to actually select your color is pretty simple. You click to increase the RGB values, right click to decrease it. And what's pretty funny is that I'm sure you can notice as I'm turning up this black color to make it a little bit different, you can see all of my buttons are also changing color. Because like I said, there's only a limited amount of colors on this computer, and so you're literally using one of your colors as the menu. So this white as well will change the background, but also the windows and buttons. And I actually like how this works because say you spent a really long time drawing and coloring something, and then when you finish it, you realize, I actually don't like how this color looks, I want to make it a little bit more red or something. Then instead of having to make a new color and then fill every single color of that, or every single pixel of that color, you don't have to recolor it anymore. All you do is simply change this, and everything that used to be white is now blue, which is super useful. And you can even sort or change, the color order. So I can swap this white and yellow pretty easily. And you can also make a gradient. And so you select this, click on whatever color, and then click another color, and then it'll set all the colors in between to a big gradient, which is really cool. So you can see all the colors from here to here are now slightly lighter and lighter shades of orange, which is, I guess, one reason why you want to use this sorting button in order to take out the colors you don't want in the gradient. That's the color tab, really useful. You actually might want this open pretty often. You definitely want the drawing and masking ones open, even the editing, and probably the color. This is your file saving tab. I actually haven't figured out how to use this yet. Maybe it's because it's an emulator or it's the version I have, but I haven't really figured out how to save files on this yet. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Yeah. Maybe this works. Yeah, I'm not too sure what I just did there. So I'll leave that alone for now, unless one of you guys figured it out. That would be pretty nice. And lastly, this is your effects tab, which has some really cool things. The thing is, some of these may or may not work, and some of them actually kind of break your program. So I'll try my best to explain why should these do. First off, these ones don't actually do anything. Just some error. Not too sure why. It's just not sure what they're supposed to do. And you actually want to be careful about these 2 or 3 right here. I think these actually have an error where you're kind of locked out from using the app if you try to use these because of a glitch. So let me show you here. I'm actually not too sure. Yeah, it's just a gradient. But when I try to exit, it sort of just locks me out. It immediately puts my mouse, or like it immediately cancels everything else, and I can't get back to the main app, which kind of sucks. Which means that you have to, yes, reopen it, reload this, enter, MPS, and you have to start over, which is gonna suck. So you want to make sure you don't accidentally click these 3, I believe. I know these 2 do it. Does this one? Oh. Okay, I'm not too sure why I was clicking there. So let me try that again. So the second one, yeah, the second one is broken. The third one, oh no, I accidentally clicked the second one again. Excuse me for a moment. Alright, so the third one, what does this actually do, I wonder? I guess it clears everything? I'm not really sure. I don't know. You guys might have to figure that one out. Does this one work? Yeah. So this fourth one is like, it cuts out some of the pixelated parts, I guess, which is pretty cool. That's a pretty cool effect. And this one, this flare, this 3 other blocky letters one called flare, is probably the coolest effect of all these. Let me show you. You click here, make a circle, and boom, you got yourself a cool flare. I believe you can change the color of it. Yeah. Yes, very cool. and you can basically make as many of these as you want. That's cool. These two, these are like edges and something, where if you click on these, you'll kind of ruin your whole drawing, but I'll show you just for the sake of this. So this edge one will make everything black and white and get all the edges, which looks really cool. Let me restart that because it kind of changed all my colors. Let me draw some random stuff again so that you can see the effects. And this one is also a bit similar, in which it will also make everything black and white, but more like a 3D pop out, because it has shading on it. Let me show you this one too. Yeah, it will make everything outlined and pop out, which is cool. So those two are cool. I'm not sure what that one just did. It changed the colors a bit. Oh yeah, I'm not too sure how that works, but that's that. This one, I apologize, I don't actually know. Yeah, this one's broken too. I don't actually know what most of these do. I only remember some of the cool ones. So you guys actually would have to figure most of these out yourselves. That's that. And what does this do? Oh, interesting. I guess this will... Well, the third doesn't work with a white background. I guess that was like another outline thing. Not too sure. Yeah, it seems like some kind of outline effect, which is also pretty cool. You also have animation. Haven't actually spent much time with this, so I don't know how to use it. Sorry about that. This is PC to, I don't know, FB. What that stands for? Facebook? I don't know. That's that. Got some extra thing. Oops. Yeah, I don't know what this does either. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, and I guess it breaks your... This one is also broken. That's that. Hopefully you're not going through a really nice drawing and then you accidentally click one of these effects that breaks your program. That would really suck. There are some other really cool effects. Let me scroll all the way down. Yes, these are, I'd say, one of the coolest effects here. Not too sure what they're called, but this one is like a skewing thing. Actually, it actually doesn't do anything. Oops. Oops. Actually doesn't do anything. I haven't figured out how to use that one, but no, what I meant was these ones. Or was it? No, not. Well, this one's pretty cool too. It makes everything a rectangle and it shades everything. That's pretty cool. Yes, this is the cool one. Now this, let me just show you this one. Do you see that? Let me change the values a little bit. Oh yeah. Yeah, very interesting. It sort of makes your whole drawing curvy and a spiral, depending on the settings. pretty cool. I guess this is the bottom number is the radius, and the top number is, I'm actually not too sure. You can play around with these values yourself, but overall this is actually, I think this looks really cool. Makes your whole artwork into a circle, into a bunch of little rings. Similar effect with the other ones too. So this one, I guess, makes everything like glass. Makes it all blocky. That's really cool. I forgot what this one was. Oh yeah, it's a bit swirly. And you can actually use the key option for this, where you use your arrow keys to actually change this yourself. So right now I was pressing the up and down arrow keys, so this will increase the amount of swirls, while I guess the up arrow key will increase the swirling vertically, or the whirling vertically, and the right and left arrow keys will whirl it horizontally. So that's also a really cool effect, and it's pretty easy to use with the keys. Alright, press escape to quit that. Random noise. Yeah, I guess that's just random noise, nothing special about that. I forgot what these other ones were. Not too sure. I guess, it's pretty cool. It makes all your colors more saturated, I guess. I think. Yeah, it makes your colors a bit more saturated. Changes the colors up a little bit, that's cool. Enhance? Video enhance? Well, that's interesting. This one also changes your colors pretty dramatically. Oh, so it's like a sharpen. It's like enhance, 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 enhance. Pretty neat. Color correct. Well, that's pretty simple. More saturation, more value. That's pretty simple. Oh, and this is typing. It's kind of hidden pretty far away, but yes, Multipaint actually lets you do typing, which is really cool. I didn't actually find this for a while, but there's a whole lot of cool fonts to choose from. NASA's a font, I guess. Some other cool ones. Let me just, I'll just choose this one. And now you can literally just start typing. You don't even have to click. You just keep on pressing letters. You'll keep on typing, and then you can move your mouse while you type. That's cool. Yeah. You can type in Multipaint. That's nice. And these ones down here, this is like printing and scanning. I don't think you can actually do this on the emulator, so I'm not actually gonna touch these. You can see here, yeah, image scanner utility. Something. Escape. Alright. Yeah, I don't know how to use that. These are also the printers. But overall, I say the text is pretty useful. The whirling effect is really nice. I believe it was this one. Yes. Very, very cool. Yeah. And definitely this one right here, if you can remember, yeah, this one, the circular swirl thing, that's pretty nice. And I think that's it for the effects. I'm not too sure what these other sections do. That shows your cursor position. This is not sure what this is. This is just some information. 1991. Wow. Yeah, that's way older than me. Cool. I don't know what that was. Let me get out here, exit. And you can quit the app here. But you don't really have to do that if you can just close it from here. But that's that. That's Multipaint. I hope you guys didn't mind all my rambling. I made no sense at all. I know it myself. I was like speaking over myself basically. I was coming up with words and then cutting myself off mid-sentence, bad at explaining things. But I hope you all learn one or two things about Multipaint, learn how to use it. I guess now I'll just do some drawing now on my own. I'm not an artist. I'll see what I can do. So bye. Or bye to those who are done with the walkthrough. I'll just be drawing by myself now. Yay. Oh. You know what, this is boring. Bye guys.